so afraid of.
This is SPTV.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to hop on here real quick and close out this really big week that we all had. Get into a little bit more of context to some of the articles that we have been digging into in terms of this very real couple that very realistically took it upon themselves to, write letters. And the issue of why we're continuing to dig into the situation is because when things don't make sense, you guys, you have to pull the string. That's how you conduct investigations. That's how we were taught to conduct all our investigations as literal children. We were told if something doesn't make sense, find out why it doesn't make sense. And then literally pull the string and find the General Sherman tank. Well, we already have Growing Up in Scientology that just went live just a few minutes ago about how Ashton's team is literally apparently making Jane Doe 3's life difficult, if that is even at all possible. It is possible because Ashton's dirt is being literally thrown out all over the streets of Los Angeles, and his fake persona is being completely exposed. And this is not about punking anything, Ashton. If anything, we're kind of sick of the punkness. We're kind of sick of the jokes that have been played at our expense. The people that were very much hurt by the actions that took place in that hotel that you and Mila went to visit with your friend, Danny. So in order to gather my thoughts, I prepared a statement, you guys, so I could, kind of bring you along with what I was thinking. Today we confront deeply serious issues that transcend the glitter and glamour of Hollywood, the very fake AF glimmer and glamour. It's a matter that delves into the heart of accountability, ethics, and moral responsibility, and it begs for our undivided attention. In recent developments, we've witnessed the public stand of Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis in support of their longtime friend, Danny Masterson, kid that grew up in Scientology, kid that was child trafficked in Scientology, actor Danny Masterson, who's now also can add being convicted of rape. This revelation propels us to ponder a fundamental question. To what extent do individuals, especially those in the very public eye, align themselves with friends who have been convicted? So, our intent here is to literally embark on a quest to dissect, question, and glean profound insights. We are driven to unveil the intricate layers of a world where certain narratives are obscured, where certain narratives get laundered, where certain narratives get twisted, and where voices of survivors, such as in this very, very, very real instance, are not just silenced, they're mocked and trivialized. Literally all happening in plain sight. We are on a pursuit of justice, and it seems like this justice pursuit is nothing but a rigged uphill battle. And already being victimized is one thing, but to be re-victimized every time any victim reaches for help is unthinkable and unconscionable. And it's all happening today in this year 2023. And we're pushing back on this journey that leads us to the murkier recess of influence, privilege, and the molding of fake AF public perception. Let's not forget that the corporate media, you guys, that has not a shred of spine, that blows with the wind of convenience wherever it wants to land to make their moolah for themselves. This is what the corporate media is doing all day long, you guys, going like this, like this, like this. Let's catch another check. Let's get more money, you guys. We're not getting enough money from advertisers. Let's get more advertisers over here. Let's talk to more influencers, you guys. This one says they have 10 million followers on Instagram, you guys. Let's go. Let's get more of those guys talking to us because we need to make money here. In the corporate media, we really need to make money. We really care a lot. We really want to help a lot of people, but this is all they do all day long, you guys. Move their hands to make money for themselves. And unfortunately, part of the literal heavy lifting the corporate media needs to do, or is supposed to do, I mean, y'all that read the Constitution about, having a free press, maybe since we didn't even go to high school, maybe tell us in the comments and tell us how it's supposed to work. As a corporate media just supposed to make money for themselves based on advertisers they can attract? Or are they really supposed to be holding those in power accountable? Because so far, the little media audit that we have taken it upon ourselves to do, we only seem to be able to find examples of a ton of image laundering services. And, it is what it is, I guess. As we delve deeper into this discussion, it's crucial to note that Mila Kunis herself, at one point, you guys, she publicly called out her husband, Ashton Kutcher, for his infidelity. Remember that time when Mila Kunis came and said Ashton was this and a that because he cheated on Demi Moore? Remember that? Well, if you don't remember, or if you have not a shred of a clue what I'm talking about, I don't blame you. These elites could be not more boring if they tried. But here we're not in the interest of finding whatever. We are going to get to expose what in the hell's going on. So Miss Kunis, with both sides of her mouth, calls out Ashton for having cheated And then from the other side of her mouth, takes it upon her very own self to advocate for a convicted felon, serial felon. And let's just leave it at that for now. Today, we defy the forces that seek to shroud these critical matters into the darkness. We pledge to cast a piercing spotlight right on them, just like they like it. They've liked the spotlight. They wanted to be in the spotlight. They fought to be in the spotlight. They got the privilege of having the spotlight. They got the privilege of amassing insurmountable amounts of money. And now we find that they cannot literally put their money where their literal mouths are. And all we get is these platitudes, these bratty videos where they couldn't seem more inconvenienced if they were casted on a role and paid millions of dollars to play the most inconvenienced couple of the century, Mr. Kutcher and Miss Mila Kunis, who apparently not only don't care, don't believe, and don't give an F about the convictions of those Jane Does. Imagine how they would feel about all of us kids that were child trafficked in those hotels, you guys. If these two elites of Hollywood don't give an F about an already full-blown convicted, based with all the information that is on the public record that has been available fully by the corporate media, who does, use that public record to make money for themselves. So it's not like Mila and Ashton are living under a rock. It's not like Mila and Ashton are in Celebrity Center with their internet being monitored and compromised. No. These two are top tech entrepreneurs. Shout out to Airbnb. Shout out to all the other tech companies that know what in the literal hell we're talking about while playing dumb. Just, playing Dumb and Dumber is all we ever get, you guys. On and on and on ad nauseum. Dumb and Dumber, Dumb and Dumber, Dumb and Dumber. Insulting our intelligence as if we didn't grow up being gaslit our entire lives. As if. We are going to insist upon meaningful dialogue and transparency to see if finally we can get the type of moral reckoning that is required if anybody is going to start really advocating for a shred of a victim instead of just blah, blah, blah. I care about victims so much. With my entitlement, I really care. With my $275 million, I really do care. With my $275 million, you have no idea how much advocacy I have done, how much charitable work that I have done. Have y'all been doing charitable work, or have y'all been blowing smoke up everyone's you-know-whats? Because the receipts in 2023 that we have gotten a hold of seem to implicate the latter. seem to implicate that something very rotten was taking place in that 70s show from hell. I mean, who has ever in the literal history of Hollywood seen that many actors implicated in horrific, unthinkable, utterly unthinkable controversies leading to, including but not limited to, serial rape convictions that are being washed away by Ashton and Mila to start with, since Ashton and Mila apparently were the only two useful idiots or blackmailed people who wrote those pathetic, propitiative letters to a judge that they were using their influencer status over. As if these two had a shred of self-reflection for the level of tone deafness that came across in those letters, you guys. And you know what, Mila? And you know what, Ashton? It sucks to be y'all. If y'all surround yourselves with nothing but yes men's, maybe that's the problem. Just maybe. Check out if your problem is you're surrounded by nothing, then yes men's around you. Because those little yes men's that you think are being so useful to you end up being the ones that make you go literally cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, as y'all literally display your cognitive dissonance all over the public record without a shred of self-awareness, capitulated by all manner of corporate media outlets that help shape public perception, y'all. Because, you know, some of these headlines that we're seeing by this disgusting, corrupt corporate media who couldn't be more for sale if they didn't have a for sale sign at every one of their doors. Right, TMC? Or wrong? Every last shred of headline coming out of TMC, you guys, is always slanted and slurred to kind of shape it. Well, how can we say that horrendous thing, but just going to give it a little bit of a butter twist spin. TMC, the ones that brought you Free Britney movement. The ones that also smeared, shamed, debased, humiliated another woman that was under horrific illegal conservatorship, the likes of which we would know since we were also under disgusting illegal conservatorships propped up by the corrupt lawyers of none other than Scientology. The corrupt lawyers who didn't take it upon themselves to read a shred of memos of what L. Ron Hubbard was propositioning to do. Corrupt lawyers that are nothing but pathetic yes men. Yes. Is that what you want? Okay, we can do it. Okay. Oh, don't get upset. Don't get pissed at us. Just keep paying our retainer and we'll do whatever you tell us. I mean, we do have the really big names at the front of our law firms. Nobody will ever in the courts think that we're full of, you know exactly what in the hell we mean. Because we are prominent AF. Right, Scientology lawyers, or wrong? Please advise MF immediately. Please. So here we go, guys, with this little article that is not aging well, like the wine that Mr. Kutcher and Mila like to get effed up on. This is not one of those articles. So this is an article published by BuzzFeed News. And it says, Ashton Kutcher opens up about the brutally honest way Mila Kunis called him out after his split from Demi Moore, following a humiliating and embarrassing cheating scandal. Oh, isn't that great, you guys? Isn't that just so amazing that, Feminist of the Year Mila Kunis really wanted to like stand up for Demi Moore, because how dare you, Ashton, cheat on a married woman? And she was just so brutally honest, you guys. These words ended up on BuzzFeed News for a reason. So the fact that someone's saying that Miss Mila Kunis can really be a brutally honest, calling out person with a really big spine because she can't even stand a man that how dare you cheat on your woman, Ashton, bad boy, is nowhere to be found today. That spine that Miss Kunis pitch she had apparently literally dissolved. God knows why. Literally, God knows only why. The article continues. Demi and Ashton's 6-year marriage came to an end in 2011, less than a year before he started dating Mila after rumors surfaced that he had cheated on her. In the mid-2000s, Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher were one of Hollywood's most talked about couples. See, you guys, how fame is all just a piece of BS. Literally, all these people that show you this is what being cool is like, literally, we say this message. And I know you guys will agree with me. Write 1 in the comments, since that's my favorite number, 1111. This is all we want to say about your BS game of fame. Who wants to be famous? Who wants to sell themselves? Who wants to sell products? Who wants to dupe people? Who doesn't give an F? Who wants to be an infantilized adult that role plays all these make-believe pretend shows to really show America how to, artistically shape the moral compass and entertain them, and really put these like very big role models that really we go through so many auditions before we decide if you really are the one that's right for the MF role. So before we say, oh, but nobody in that 70s show had a shred of a clue, we would say utter BS. Utter, total BS. We have a way to audit the books today. We have a way to audit the receipts today. We have a way to audit the public statements today. We do. When we were stuck in those hotels from hell, we had not a shred of a clue what in the hell this world was. But trust, now that we're adults in adult bodies, we're starting to connect the MF dots. So here's Mr. Ashton and Demi Moore living it up, being so hot. So hot, you guys. Tom Ford, yay, Tom Ford. The pair went public with their relationship in 2003 and tied the knot in 2005 when Demi was 42 and Ashton was 27. Their 15-year age gap was the focus of much public chatter. And whose chatter was that, guys? Bingo, the corrupt AF media that couldn't start yapping and yapping and yapping and flooding the airwaves with BS stories about, is she this age? Is she that age? Is there a big difference? And is it a problem? Is it this? Who in the literal hell cares? Well, apparently Demi and Ashton did, because as much as these celebrities that literally clawed their way to get tapped to be part of this disgusting dysfunction called Hollywood, miss us with the BS that, oh, the media is so bad to us and we hated being so famous. We hated that we get paid $10 million to show up somewhere. Because it's just so hard to be a celebrity, you guys. I mean, how many YouTubes are out there for anyone that wants to do the research and really audit the entirety of YouTube with sobbing celeb stories wanting to appear relatable? Because, yeah, apparently getting paid $20 million for showing up somewhere. Literally nothing else. Just show up. We'll give you the 20 million. Just open your mouth, pretend to be this, infantilize yourself to play this part. Because aren't you such a great double-faced person? Don't you just on command switch up and be fake AF? So, yes, Demi Moore and Ashton, wah, about how the press followed them. The press did this to us. Oh, the press. Please. Despite experiencing a heartbreaking pregnancy loss in 2006, Ashton and Demi enjoyed a happy marriage, with the punked star developing close bonds with Demi's 3 daughters and with his ex-husband, Bruce Willis. And then they are, you guys, again, a corporate media who couldn't get enough of writing about this, who couldn't get enough of superficially exploiting this story for nothing of relevance. How much money was made on this family alone, you guys, on these corporate media writing ad nauseum BS stories that had nothing to do with anything. Never mind that Mr. Kutcher at this time already had walked out of an alleged bleeding girlfriend that he was supposed to go pick up to go to a party. Never mind that Mr. Kutcher at this time had been interviewed by the police, had been lying to the police about where he was and how he got there and whatever, had been found to have been checking with his team. Hey guys, I just showed up and, she seems to be not responding. What should I do? I mean, is that going to affect my career as a star? Where was that story when the corporate media couldn't stop flooding the airwaves with nauseating, complete altered importance stories about how this family and, oh, look, they all get along, but he's 27 and she's 40. Like, oh, isn't that so crazy, you guys? Isn't that so crazy? Isn't that just so unusual? Does it work? Does it not work? Would it work for you if you were an older woman, if that happened? I mean, again, who gives a literal F about any of that? Yes, the corporate media does, you guys. The corporate media wants to make the big bucks with superfluous AF details that literally do nothing to nobody's life, that literally benefits nobody. But you know what? These people were getting benefited because, these people don't just show up somewhere and get paid $10 million for not showing up in the media, right or wrong. So as all of these Hollywood wokes cry and wow, 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 the media did this and the media, oh my God, and they follow us and the paparazzi. Never mind that these publicists are calling the paparazzi, you guys. I've lived in LA enough. And all these pretend guys that seem to be so cool and everybody wants to know where they are nothing but pathetics pay for play. That's what the hell it's called, okay? So when you call the paparazzi on yourself, that is called a play, pay to play, pay for play. Hey guys, we're just going to leave the restaurant in about 5 minutes because we really want to be in that magazine because then our Instagram account will really grow. And then when I'm releasing my latest BS tech company, I will really like strong arm Airbnb, my tech partner that will be like, yeah, don't you really want to align with my brand that I have so many followers because I'm so controversial, because I'm so avant-garde, because I'm such an artist that really wanted to punk everyone? Well, you know, the joke is over, Ashton. You're a $200 million joke. You couldn't be more cheap if you tried. And you have the corporate media, your little enablers and buddies of yours that constantly have laundered your image in whatever way you have paid them to launder your MF image. More pictures, blah, blah, blah. However, things ultimately came tumbling down in 2010 when the couple was first dogged by rumors that Ashton had cheated. They put up a united front at first, but wound up announcing their split in November 2011. So yes, you guys, they put up a united front and nothing happened until they decided, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, we're going to separate. And this business partnership we got going on for ourselves, including all the paparazzi pictures and media attention, because we are putting ourselves all over the public record so we can keep getting the money. You guys, what is that saying that everybody says when you're investigating something that you must always, always do? I mean, literally always. I don't know if anyone in the comments is going to be able to write it before I put it on this sticky note. But this is the saying that I know. Follow the MF money. Money incentivizes behavior. When the behavior is incentivized by money, when that behavior is corrupt AF and money is involved, then that's more of what you get. Right or wrong, Ashton? Right or wrong, Mila Kunis? So, yeah, follow the money, honey. That's what you all need to do. Start following the MF money and stop literally gossiping about people's ridiculous lives that have nothing to do with anything. Stop making stories out of BS is our message to the corporate media, you guys. Because they're nothing but a bunch of pathetic BSers whose business model could not be more broken if they wouldn't have taken a sledgehammer and smashed it all to pieces themselves. Though the claims of Ashton's infidelity were widely circulated, it wasn't until 2019 that Demi opened up about the demise of their relationship in detail, writing in her memoir that he cheated twice. Once with a 21-year-old he met during a family outing to a bowling alley. I mean, literally, you guys, you had me at family outing in bowling alley, Ashton Kutcher. Literally, if Danny Masterson was your so-called rose model, role model that you told us all about in that letter, that thanks to him, you really figured out morality, that thanks to Danny Masterson and all he taught you and all he influenced you, you couldn't have literally been shacking somebody at a bowling alley with your family, with all the money, with all the entitlement, with all the resources at your MF disposal. Ashton, that's what you choose to do. Literally. But yeah, let's figure out what next award we can put you in, Ashton, so we can continue to launder your image, because that's what the corporate media has been doing for you, since you all feed off of each other. Stop pretending that you are just, prancing around, minding your own business, and you're just so interesting that people cannot stop writing about you because, oh my God, aren't you so goddamn interesting? The Ghost Art claim that Ashton tried to justify his actions by saying that the boundaries of their marriage had been blurred by the fact that they had threesomes together in the past. You see why I wanted to bring up this little article that no one's talking about to the forefront, you guys? Because if we needed more gaslighting coming out of Ashton's mouth and Mila's mouth, well, this little article that whoever in the hell of your PR team did help to prop up for yourself somewhere is definitely hitting the spot right about now. Mila and Ashton. Literally. Here's Ashton talking about how the boundaries were blurred because of threesomes that they had. Imagine that, you guys. I mean, imagine being intelligent enough to amass $200 million for your name, for yourself, but also, gee, I wonder what the boundary was about what we talked about. Like, well, weren't we just doing threesomes? And, didn't that mean that I could just go and stick it wherever I want it? I mean, literally is on the public record, you guys. Literally, this is what's already there. Never mind that, we're going to get more into the state of mind of Demi Moore as, she apparently got bulldozed by Ashton Kutcher's actions, narcissistic AF, self-serving actions that don't you worry about anything, you guys. Mila already literally told him off. So let's see how much he was really told off, this Ashton guy. So just 2 months after he and Demi announced their divorce, Ashton had already reconnected with his longtime friend and former That 70s Show co-star Mila Kunis, with the two sharing an off-screen kiss for the first time at a party at his house in January 2012. Interesting, you guys, right? 2 months after Demi divorce, Mila was already in the picture. But don't you worry about it, guys. Mila was in the picture yelling at Ashton, telling him he was an asshole. So it's all Gucci. It's not like Mila was doing anything. It's not like there was any weird situation going on whatsoever. So there they are, couple of the year, Hollywood sweethearts of the year, celebrity power couple of the year. $275 million are literally sitting right in front of y'all's faces, you guys. That's what $275 million of Hollywood looks like. Just an FYI. Literally. That's just literally the FYI. Mila and Ashton have both maintained on separate occasions that the romantic relationship started as a purely casual fling, given that they were both newly single at the time. Well, yes, you guys, we are to believe that with the same mouth that the story's pitching, how it was kind of bad, but it wasn't that bad because you know what? It was 2 months later, but everything was so casual. And, Mila was really kind of telling him off from the very beginning. Isn't Mila Woman of the Year right now as we all see her laugh, ha ha ha, la la la. But as history goes, the things wound up getting serious pretty fast. As history goes, you guys, I mean, this corporate media, shout out to BuzzFeed News. Shout out to y'all there at BuzzFeed who definitely wrote this ridiculous story. History goes, things wound up getting serious pretty fast, and then the two had moved in together by April 2012, more than a year before Demi and Ashton's divorce was even finalized. So yeah, Mila was living it up there with her buddy, boyfriend, Ashton, celebrity couple of the year. Of course, Ashton and Mila are now very happily married and share two children, Wyatt and Dimitri, age 8 and 6. However, in a brand new interview, Ashton is looking back at how he and Mila tackled the issue of his and Demi's rocky marriage in the early days of the romance. Isn't that so romantic, you guys? Isn't that just so romantic? I mean, again, just so we see the corporate media fully laundering the image of their beloved pals. Don't worry about it, Ashton. So Demi Moore just came up with a desperate book, a very desperate memoir of what in the hell happened to her, what the hell she survived. But, you know, all we got to do is tell the American people that, you know, you and Mila were just literally having an amazing romance, you know? I mean, we're going to have to say a couple things here, but don't worry. Nobody really pays attention. And before you know, we'll put this really cute picture of you guys. And all of a sudden, America will forget what they were all bad about, because aren't you so glamorous? Doesn't just a little bit of makeup and a bow tie make it all the way to where no person that would ever wear makeup and a bow tie with the Oscars photographed right behind them would be up to doing anything shady? Right, you guys? Like, if you are invited to the Oscars, you couldn't be shady. I mean, I'm sure that if we go around asking Hollywood, hey, did you ever know anything shady from Hollywood stars Mila and Ashton? Oh no, they never did anything shady to me. I think they're great people. I think they're wonderful people. I think they've always set an incredible, inspirational example for what? People at the Oscars that rub elbows with these two peeps that we have right here. You know, both from very humble beginnings. Let's remind everyone how Mila's parents were desperate and put every last shred of dollar so she could have an acting class. Let's not forget that this one over here was, you know, born and raised in some potato farm somewhere, and, you know, just magically stumbled into luck, because isn't he just so talented? So talented. I mean, the talent is dripping down that smile, that shady AF smile. Speaking to Esquire, Ashton looked back at the pain of his divorce from Demi, particularly the shame he felt after his cheating scandal broke. Well, thank you so much for that clarification. Notice and highlight here in bold, red underline, that he felt shame after the cheating scandal broke. Right? So prior to that, he's able to do whatever in the MF world he wants to do, because he's Ashton Kutcher. Don't tell me what to do. I'm a multimillionaire. I'm a celebrity. I'm surrounded by yes men. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody puts baby in the corner, says Ashton Kutcher. But, you know, he then all of a sudden did feel a lot of humiliation and shame because the story broke that he was cheating at a bowling alley in a family outing. And you know, Danny Masterson could have not been a better role model. We only hope that 21-year-old really wanted to have that experience. Literally, that's what we're hoping. Nothing makes you feel like a failure like divorce, he says. Divorce feels like a wholesale effing failure. You failed at marriage. Yes, Ashton, that is what in the hell is called when you do something that is shady AF. When you have a partnership built on trust and you act out shady AF, that is exactly what in the hell happens to a marriage. And you're supposed to feel shame when that happens, not when it gets found out. Because when it gets found out, it's too late to feel a shred of credible shame. Just like it's too late for y'all to try to sell us that you couldn't be more embarrassed and ashamed for having literally advocated on behalf of a convicted, you know exactly what in the literal hell we mean, Ashton. You really MF do. He recalled instances at industry events where he'd heard people talking about the rumors of his infidelities, calling the experience humiliating and embarrassing. I mean, yeah, Ashton, it's humiliating and embarrassing because apparently you and your wife, 15 years older than you, were not on the same MF page about doing threesomes. And apparently you really got confused about what kind of boundaries were blurred when, you know, your then wife was getting cheated on with the 21-year-old. You weren't in an open relationship, Ashton. It's not called open relationship when you're the only one being allowed to be open. If y'all wanted to have done that, then I'm sure Demi Moore would have been very clear and not affected at all. Has she granted consent to that, Ashton? That's how you get boundaries really like effed up, just so you know. If you do something sexual with a woman and she doesn't, and she tells you no and you continue, that's effed up AF. If you're having threesomes and your wife doesn't like it and you continue doing other stuff on your side, on your own, that is effed up AF. Both times you didn't get consent. On one, you won't see jail. But apparently Mila will yell and scream at you for that one because she really wants to stand up for women whose husbands cheat based on blurred boundary confusions, while on the other side of her mouth has not a shred of problem to write a long-winded letter to a man that was convicted of doing exactly what in the hell he was convicted for to people they both knew personally and intimately. So it's not like, well, you know, when you're a celebrity, all kinds of people make all kinds of allegations and you can really just have them come at you from all different angles. These women were literally a staple at y'all's inner circle for how many years, Ashton? You tell us. Literally, you tell us how long you knew Christy, how long you knew all the Jane Does. Because we have a way of establishing if you are lying AF or not. Just FYI. So more pictures of Ashton looking his best and handsome because BuzzFeed really wants to help here. So being that his behavior was the talk of the town. Oops, Ashton, I don't think you know what the talk of the town is until the day today. In this year 2023, you're the talk of the entire country as you and your wife put up literally the most fake AF minute that has ever been seen. For everyone to see your sickness on full display, because no one is buying your fake AF pitch in this year, 2023. We are not buying what in the hell you two are selling. Trust me. We're not buying a shred of a thing from you. So, being that his behavior is a talk of the town, Ashton's close friends seemingly weren't exempt from hearing about his private escapades, including Mila. See, you guys, how the talk of the town. I mean, imagine that an infidelity such as Ashton's was the talk of the town in Hollywood, right? Because he cheated at a bowling alley on a family outing, and Hollywood was just beyond outraged. But then, on the other side of these people's mouth, when things happen with these Jane Does, what? Nobody heard a shred of a thing. Nobody talked about it between themselves at all. There were no parties that anyone ever attended where that was not spoken about whatsoever. Really? You mean to tell us that women that got this, nobody gave an F to discuss? In any circles, anywhere near the entirety of Hollywood, no one literally gave an F. But you know, a little escapade with a 21-year-old at a bowling alley, that one, yes. That one, let's really, really all talk about it and really like sit here and pretend that we really know what in the hell morality means, because we really should be getting more platitude speeches from woke, fake AF, celebrity nobodies, getting trophies, certificates and trophies a la Scientology. Let me climb the next level. Let me get to the next one. Oh my God, the Oscars told me I was the greatest. I am the greatest now, because now I'm charging millions of dollars for doing nothing, for being pathetic at lying is all we are seeing. Never mind that these two have not gotten an Oscar, but you know what? We just saw them being photographed at the Oscars, and you know, they don't give an F if they don't get an Oscar. They could never literally even be that good. I mean, we saw their acting skills in this pathetic interview. So literally, how in the hell were they going to get an award for anything else? Moving on to talk about how they went from all pals to lovers after his split from Demi, Ashton admitted that his behavior was something Mila addressed head on. Well, isn't that great, you guys, that we have yet again from Miss Mila Kunis, the wanting to address everything very head on woman of the year, that BuzzFeed is not laundering the image of the both of them here as they put all their little cutesy wootsy pictures of them together, laughing and having a jolly old time. While Ashton knows exactly what in the hell happened to that woman that he showed up to pick up as a girlfriend that literally was not there, you know, breathing when he arrived. And he really wanted to make sure that wasn't going to like derail his career. I mean, God forbid, right? Like literally, like, I mean, that's just made me sick, you guys. Sorry, I had to like literally spray myself with rose water to like blow off that gross negative energy. So the article continues, you were an AH. I don't even want to say the word. He recalled her saying to him, prompting some self-reflection on his part. Isn't that incredible, you guys? So Miss Mila really does reach out for, you know, the heavy hitting words when apparently she's trying to domesticate Kutcher into becoming very self-reflective by calling somebody an asshole. That makes someone self-reflect a lot. I'm sure that calling someone an asshole, Mila, makes somebody self-reflect a lot. You know what also makes someone self-reflect a lot? If they actually went to therapy, to actual therapy, not therapy at hotels, not therapy by delivered, including to but not limited to minors such as myself in hotels with not a shred of a clue of what in the hell we were doing, since we were enslaved to be doing those confessionals and BS self-reflection sessions to, gather up all manner of disgusting criminal, including but not limited to class A felonies that they did tell us in those hotels that was our job. Oh yeah, you guys, go get those felonies. Go get them mined. Go get them extracted. Go put them on a video recorded session. Go write them down in worksheets. Go get them case supervised. Go get them graded. Did you get a very well done? Did you get a well done? Did you get a flunk? Did you get a flunk correction? As if all of this dysfunction is not being supervised inside these disgusting hotels from hell, you guys. As literally if. So, but yeah, Miss Mila, who didn't use the word asshole for Danny to self-reflect in her pathetic attempt of an interview to gaslight the entirety of America with her gray t-shirt and her no makeup disgruntled look, like she doesn't give a single F. Just woke up in our pajamas, just put the camera there, just spit out the statement. The idiots are too stupid to be able to tell one thing from the other. Well, you know what, Mila? Wrong. Those of us who were abused in those hotels, the ones that enabled Danny to do every last shred of crime he's already been convicted for, do give an F. And every single person on this chat that's tuning in to really get contextualized to what in the hell you two are all about and how much you are part of the bigger picture here. Because let's not forget, you guys, as much as Hollywood wants to distance itself from Scientology when it's convenient and literally fucks Scientology on the side, fucks with Scientology on the side all day long, all night long, when no one's watching and no one gives an F. Then they do. Call up Tom Cruise, call up John Travolta, call up dead Christy Alley. Call them up. They're all about this. Another $1 billion man, Mr. Tom Cruise. Let's call Tom. Let's really call him and ask him what in the literal hell this is. Since another one of these deadbeat husbands that was definitely wiretapping Nicole, according to literally Deputy Inspector General of Ethics, literally kid you not, Marty Rathbun, degenerate Marty Rathbun that completed a 2-week course at a hotel called Ethics Specialist, and all of a sudden, he took it upon himself to, rub elbows with Tom and go get wiretapping Nicole, because why not, right? Because we can really figure out how we can, disentangle Tom from this suppressive Nicole, as if Tom doesn't have a shred of a clue that this took place. Literally as if. So, examples of deadbeat husbands in Hollywood, guys, you can find them in every last shred of corner. So, yet again, you were an asshole, he recalled her saying to him, prompting some self-reflection on his part. And this is the image that BuzzFeed decided to show us about this man and this BS image laundry story they put up that we are not buying, BuzzFeed. Yeah, you were an asshole for a good 2 years, she apparently added. Oh, well, look at Mila, guys. You were an asshole for cheating on Demi, Ashton. How dare you cheat? How dare you break your marriage vows? How dare you? But you, Danny, you couldn't have been more of a role model to me. You couldn't have been more of a big brother role model to myself. And I never saw you do a shred of a thing wrong. And I never saw you lie. And I saw you treat every single last shred of human with amazing respect, overwhelming respect, right or wrong, Mila? And while it might have hurt to be confronted with such brutal honesty by one of his longest standing friends, Mila's frankness wound up serving Ashton for the best. Oh, I mean, look at them, you guys. Serving for the best. Mila's frankness is nowhere to be found in this year 2023. Mila's frankness apparently literally evaporated into oblivion by the time she turned to this year 2023 and she pressed record in that camera and she grabbed her little pen to pen her little recommendation letter for convicted rapist that she really wanted to see if maybe my influence will get my buddy over here 15 years because, why not? I mean, if it's just 15 years, you'll be out, you'll be in and out before you know it. I mean, 15 years, what's 15 years? Just serve that thing consecutively and you'll be right out. And, we'll all just act like nothing happened and our brands are very protected and, we couldn't be more besties if we tried. The thing about Mila that made our relationship accelerate was that I had always admired her, quote, he said, looking back at their fast-moving romance, quote, her talents, her skills, her gifts, but I knew that she didn't need me and she knew that I didn't need her. Well, isn't that just the most romantic story of our lives, you guys? They didn't need each other. And in Hollywood, since they're so incredible, they were, not finding people that didn't need them. As if who needs people that don't have a shred of a spine, you guys? Literally. I mean, please answer that question. If you find a human being that has no integrity, no shred of a spine, stands for nothing, will go with the wind faster than you can literally blink an eye, what in the hell is that person useful for? Literally. He also added that one of the most important aspects of the relationship was that they were able to accept each other's faults. Well, look at that, you guys. Mila does seem to want to be very accepting of people's faults. So she definitely accepted his cheating after calling him an asshole. I mean, at least she pretended to care, right? Or she at least purports here in this BS watered down laundering service of the BuzzFeed News to really be all about really wanting to do, accepting of each other's faults, because apparently Mila has some faults of her own too. Don't think she's Little Miss Perfect, you guys. In the past, Mila has opened up about the fucked up way she ended her 9-year relationship with Macaulay Culkin, which she admitted led to a horrible, horrible, horrible breakup. Quote from Mila, you guys. Triple horrible Miss Kunis was to Macaulay Culkin. She never explicitly talked about infidelity, but she told Dax Shepard in 2018, I fucked up. I was an asshole in my 20s, and I'll be the first to admit it. And that kind of something that took me a long time to come out and be like, yeah, you know what? I was a dick and accept it, and I own it now. Wow, you guys, isn't that great that Miss Mila does seem to want to show a lot of accountability and call herself, I mean, again, it's like, what is up with these words? Like, I'm a dick. I literally fucked up. I'm an asshole. I'm a dick. I fucked up. I'm an asshole. I'm a dick. I fucked up. Yeah, you know what? I was a dick and accepted. And I own it now. I really own it. In your 20s, you were a dick, Mila? What about in 2023? What would you call yourself? If here you called yourself an asshole, that you fucked up and that you were a dick and you were willing to accept it and own it, how are you going to own the day of today? Literally, how? Because apparently you are capable of putting out statements where you can purport to really want to take accountability about something you effed up about. Never mind that we don't know what in the literal hell you put Macaulay Culkin through. We have not a shred of a clue. We haven't even gotten to that. We don't know. And right about now, we almost couldn't care any less because we're so sick of you too. But I digress. Perhaps alluding to this common ground from their past relationship, Ashton said that he and Mila were able to connect so quickly because they already knew all about each other's dirt. Quote from Ashton Kutcher, you guys. Quote from Ashton Kutcher. Repeat, quote from Ashton Kutcher given to image laundering service BuzzFeed News. Perhaps alluding to his common ground from his past relationships, Ashton said that he and Mila were able to connect so quickly because they already knew all of each other's dirt. Very much a la L. Ron Hubbard, right, you guys? We know each other's dirt. So if Mila knows all the dirt of Ashton, then why in the hell is she literally playing dumb in this year 2023? That's what we need to understand, Mila, for receipts to start adding up. Because yet again, we have to underline, circle in red a trillion times that the totals on these receipts don't add up. And that's the beauty of numbers, right, guys? When numbers don't add up, they don't add up. They don't add the F up. It doesn't matter if you cry, if you whine, if you put up any kind of tantrum. No amount of gaslighting can get past the numbers, Miss Kunis. And right now, all these receipts that are on the public record couldn't add up less if you paid a crooked accountant, top tier from Hollywood, to make the receipts somehow add up. Elsewhere in the wide-ranging interview, Ashton also gave a rare comment about Demi's tell-all memoir, which she released in 2019 and was packed with details about their tumultuous marriage. Evidently reluctant to delve much further into his thoughts on the book, Ashton said that he was fucking pissed about the release of his ex-memoir, admitting that his frustration centered mainly on his family's privacy. Well, isn't that great, you guys, that Ashton really cares about his family's privacy and he's fucking pissed. Quote from Ashton Kutcher. No one's putting words in his mouth. These are quotes from millionaire, 200 millionaire worth Ashton Kutcher. That's pissed. I finally got into a place where the press had really laid off of me and Mila and my life and my family. He finally got to a place where he wasn't calling the paparazzi all the time because he had figured out another way to scheme and make money with the tech bros up at Valley, up in the whatever Silicon Valley corrupt AF other place that we know all about. And my life and my family. And then the next day, the paparazzi are at my kid's school, he said, adding definitely, I don't want to open anything up in that realm. Ooh, the paparazzi, you guys. Ooh, the paparazzi that they don't want anywhere around themselves. I mean, pathetic, unthinkable, disgusting corruption is all that we are looking at from the very available receipts that are just one single shred of a GTS away. So that's the shady AF stuff that we're reporting. So what did we just learn, you guys? That Mila and Ashton know each other's dirt. That they were both influenced by Scientologist of the Year, dirt collector, L. Ron Hubbard protege, child who was trafficked in Scientology, Danny Masterson. All Scientologists were taught by L. Ron Hubbard to go and collect dirt on others. That's how they corruptly influence people, and that's how they hold leverage over others. Very a la KGB, CCFBI. that doesn't give a shred of an F that this is being done to kids in this year 2023. CC y'all there that are playing dumb still. So I think those are very important points to highlight and understand for our very own damn selves, you guys. So we don't have to fall for any more BS platitude image laundering services that these multimillionaires might want to hire because, you know, just really disappear for a few years so nobody talks about y'all. And, you know, maybe this will all be swept under the rug again. You know, it's not like they don't have a million houses in Santa Barbara that they can hide away in. It's not like they're not partners with Airbnb where they could just literally shack up in any kind of Airbnb where they can just be put out of the public eye so that, you know, we're not coming after them anymore. And, you know, things just quiet down, you guys, because, you know, emotions are running high out there. And, you know, BS. Emotions are not running high. We are reacting in real time to the bullshit receipts that are being put in front of us where our intelligence is being questioned by this pathetic elite clowns that think they got it all figured out. So I think that's what we learned today. Okay, you guys? So now I wanted to, going back to the beginning of this video and acknowledging the very real work, the very heavy lifting done by the very real Jane Does that had to withstand to criminal trials and are having to prepare to now go to civil trial, where Scientology is going to be more implicated than ever. So let's look forward to that and continue exposing all of these disgusting corruptions. So now, let's actually cleanse the air. There's more rose water. So good. You guys are so refreshing. Taking deep, relaxing breaths. So before we part ways, let us take a moment to center ourselves and reflect on the gravity of the issues we have discussed today. Please find a comfortable posture. Close your eyes if you wish, and let us embark on this brief meditation together. As we breathe in deeply, let us acknowledge the weight of our conversation, the stories of survivors, the complexities of morality, and the responsibility we all share to seek justice and truth. Breathe in this awareness. Now, as you exhale, release any judgment, anger, or confusion that may have arisen during our discussion. Allow it to dissipate into the ether. With each inhale, let us draw in compassion for the survivors, for those seeking accountability, and for the complexities of human nature. With each exhale, release any notions of blame or resentment. Instead, let us focus on the path forward, a path of empathy, understanding, and meaningful actual change, where accountability and justice are found in every corner instead of being nowhere to be found. As we breathe in and out, consider the power of our collective voices. Together, we can challenge the status quo. Together, we are challenging the status quo. AF. Together, we can unveil all these hidden truths. Together, we can foster a society that values justice above all else. Now, gently open your eyes if you were closing them and carry this sense of purpose and compassion with you. Let us commit to being agents of change, champions of justice, and advocates for those kids and women whose voices have been systemically, institutionally silenced by those corrupt individuals that are leveraging their money, their power, and their fake AF glamour to subjugate others into unthinkable states of slavery, happening as we speak in this year 2023. Thank you for joining us in this crucial conversation, you guys. And together, we can and we will make a difference one day at a time. I thank you all for watching. Thank you for standing up for the truth and believing victims, because believe you me, y'all are making the biggest change that anyone has ever seen, at least any one of us. So for that, we couldn't be more grateful. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all extremely, extremely soon. Good night.